Okay, that was insane. Honestly, what was going on in that Switch 2 Direct? It started off Mario Kart World or whatever it's called. Looked absolutely incredible. We kept going. Got some information about the new console, which looks incredible. Like, okay, maybe incredible is a bit of a stretch, but it does look really cool. They didn't play it too safe. And then they ruined the Direct with free advertising for all of their other third-party games, which the other companies could have just announced in their own time. And then they kept doing that. And then in the middle, they just dropped Age of Calamity, new imprisoning war game, which as a Zelda fan, that looks absolutely incredible. And then they go back to all of the random third-party stuff. And then, at the very end, when I'm bored of this third-party stuff, they drop a new Donkey Kong 3D game, which looks absolutely incredible. This Direct was wild, and boy, do I have some dissecting to do. Right, let me get the bad stuff out of the way first. As I already said, and I won't dwell on this for too long because I've basically already made my point, there was no need to have that much time dedicated to third-party stuff. This is a Nintendo Direct, so if they want to throw in 10 minutes to advertise like Elden Ring and that new really cool looking game that I'll let play on the screen now, but like, there was just no need for it to take up like 20 minutes or however long it took of an hour-long Direct. Like, that's basically already half. And like, so much of it was just the developers talking and stuff, right? Which, like, I might choose to watch this stuff in my own time, but taking away from our Direct time is just so annoying to me, and I don't see why they couldn't just, like, the developers couldn't just, like, announce that in their own time. The second thing, and this is the thing that pained me the most, because if we did only have a 30-minute long Direct dedicated to actual, like, 40 minutes, but dedicated to actual, like, Switch 2 hardware and then software, and if the software really delivered, then that would be absolutely fine. I wouldn't be moaning about the third-party stuff. But I felt some of the software was a bit lackluster. Like, that new basketball game looks like a decent tech demo, but if that's all there is, because that's all they showed, and bearing in mind it's coming out in summer, you know, that's pretty little amount for them to show for a game that's releasing in a few months. And then there was also that, like, Switch 2 welcome thing, which looked like mini-games, which looked awesome for a free pack-in game, except it's not a free pack-in game. You have to pay money to play some mini-games in it to tell you about the Switch 2 a bit. Seemed absolutely ridiculous to me. So yeah, there was some really, like, I just felt uninspired, boring bits of software thrown in there, which I just did not like. My next complaint is probably, like, one of the biggest case arguments I have, because it's to do with the price. Now, I do not think that the pricing of the console is too absurd. I mean, I think it could be a bit lower from everything we've seen so far, because it doesn't look like there's going to be a massive, like, bunch of games at launch, like, proper big games. I'm not talking about, like, Nintendo Switch 2 Tour, which you have to pay extra for or whatever. But, like, yeah, I just don't think that that's probably worth it. Like, well, no, I think it's worth it. I just think that they could make it a bit lower. But that's not the real issue. The real issue is now the price of the games. Now, I'm going to deal in pounds. I don't think I said that before. Sorry, guys, because I'm from the UK. But if you go on the Nintendo website, it will give you prices in your currency. So, you now need to pay more for physical games. Which, like, if it was just, like £3 or £4, then that's fine. But for Mario Kart World, I think it's, like, £10. So that means I'm spending, like, £70, or even more, I think, on physical games. Like, with the Mario Kart World Physical, which, like, I'll probably buy the bundle, because it's so ridiculously expensive to not. But, yeah, that's just not okay. Like, imagine, like, the new 3D Zelda releases. What's that going to cost? Like, £100? So, yeah, I don't think the pricing of the games is done very well. Well, I definitely don't think it is. And the console could be a little bit cheaper, but I'm not too unhappy with it. Right, final thing now, and this is the thing that broke my heart. We got to the end of the Direct, final announcement, they do their thing, and out comes Donkey Kong in this epic new Bonanza or something, whatever it's called. It looks epic, looks awesome, but it's not 3D Mario. And, like, I hopefully will get a Direct in June for the summer and it will come. But I just, I I tried to not get my hopes up, but I'll tell you, I expected there to be 3D Mario. I thought that was what's going to happen. And just to see it not happen in this Direct... nah. Like, obviously, Nintendo kind of forgot about 3D Mario Odyssey sold crazy well. And it's one of their biggest series. But just to have to wait... It's not terrible, but, one of those. Right. Yes, it might seem like I'm just moaning, but we have waited 4 years or whatever it was since the Switch Pro rumours for this. So, I do think it is justified to have some bad opinions about it. But that is definitely not all I had, because, like I said, there were some banger moments from this Direct. And I feel like one of the reasons why I might have just critiqued it so harshly is because of the incredible start that then we had to work off of. And it kicked off Mario Kart World. Oh my god, did Nintendo cook! This game looks awesome. Free roam with your friends? Can you imagine, driving around for hours on end, just discovering new things, trying to break the game in, ways I can't even imagine. The whole new, race across the world will be eliminated, in top 8. Oh my gosh. You can play as the cow from Moo Moo Meadows. Oh my gosh, Nintendo, have they gone insane? And I am all here for it. It is insane. Mario Kart World deserves a whole new video, which may or may not be coming, depends on how much time I can get. But yeah, Mario Kart World was crazy. The character roster looks insane. 24 players confirmed, which we already assumed, but you can see the different outfits, them shifting towards different ones. I don't think they're going to go Wonder Seeds mode, which, you can literally free roam on most courses. I don't care, I'll be honest. No, okay, that's not true. I do care. Wonder Seeds would have been nice, but, I think what we got is also pretty cool. So, yeah, the character roster looks insane. Tracks looks insane. Mario Kart World looks insane. And also, they didn't go for 9 or 10 to avoid controversy or X or anything. They just went for World. So, yeah, Mario Kart World. What a game. The bit after this did not top Mario Kart World, but it came quite close. The Switch 2 itself looks pretty awesome, I will be completely honest. The C button ended up being chat feature, which I did actually predict, I just don't think I said it, so I don't have it anywhere. It's kind of sad. I was actually talking to my mates and I did say that I think new Mario Kart might have some free roam. I wish I predicted it, because I would have looked so cool. Anyway, getting sidetracked here. But yeah, the Switch 2 hardware itself, the chat button got confirmed. It looks pretty awesome. It is really laggy from what I saw. But, it does more than enough for it to work, function. I don't think it deserves, some hate that it's getting. Some people saying it's a 5 out of 10 trailer just because it was a bit laggy. What do you expect? Phone calls are laggy sometimes. And, that's what they're built for, Whereas the Switch 2 is not built for phone calls. And then the camera, I've not seen any information on how much it is, so that might affect my opinion of this, but it does look really cool. The bit on the top is an accessory port, the extra USB-C port, but I think that was pretty, obvious. Everyone was saying that you could flip your Switch 2 upside down, but it was off-centered, so how would that even work? And also the power button was at the bottom, would be at the bottom then, so I feel that was a bit silly. And then we learnt that it's the same thickness, but it's a lot bigger. I think 7-8 inches or something, somewhere from that range, which is really cool. And because of that, 1080p screen, because something that I saw that if it was just 720p it would actually end up looking worse because of the more pixels, but luckily it's not. 120 frames per second, that blew my mind when I saw it. And then docked, it can go up to 4K. Come on, let's go. So yeah, the hardware, is there anything I'm forgetting? I don't really think so. So yeah, hardware of the Switch 2 also looks really good, and that new stand looks really cool as well. Alright, Next thing that I really enjoyed came next in the Direct, so actually the start of it was really good. And I didn't talk about this when I was talking about the features of the Switch 2, because I think this deserves its own little bit. Some games, I think, I've tried to remember them. Legend ZA, Metroid Prime 4 will both come out on Switch 2 as well, with like an upgraded version. And so will Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Party Jamboree, and I think Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Now, if you have these games on Switch 1, you have to pay some extra to upgrade, which I think is fair, but then I've seen the pricing on some of the stuff Nintendo have been putting out, like the games and stuff. So if it's like some crazy price, then, you know, again, I'm going to end up regretting that. But yeah, I really like this. I've seen, you can tell from the gameplay of Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild that they are not messing about here. I will probably definitely end up playing through these games again just to witness, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild actually how they're supposed to look, you know? So yeah, I can't wait for that. It's going to look awesome. And then Jamboree I'll probably end up getting as well, depends, because that new Bowser's concert mode I really like the look of. So yeah, that's the new upgraded game feature. This is the part where I personally think it started to go downhill with all the third-party stuff. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's nothing good in there. Like, you know, hopefully we finally get decent FIFA or EA Sports FC, whatever, on like the Switch that doesn't look absolutely disgusting. And Elden Ring looks good. Just the thing is, like, if you don't have like any like PS5 or anything like that, which I'm lucky enough to have a PS5, or like an Xbox as well or something like that, then like this must be awesome. But like honestly, it sort of started to lose me a bit until they brought me back with Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, like Age of Imprisonment, and oh my gosh, is this gonna be awesome. Such a good idea. I can't believe no one said about this, because like obviously both Zelda games, like both of the modern two, they have like some sort of era which is just told to us. So the bit with Zelda in Tears of the Kingdom, and then they had the 100 years in the past with Breath of the Wild, and I cannot wait. Obviously a bit upset to not see my favourite protagonist like ever, Link, Hero of the Wild, show up because it's in the past, but you know, it still looked awesome. You can play as Rauru. Zelda's the central lead, so yeah, I love the look of this. The next bit that I've not briefly touched on is Kirby Air Riders, and I think this is an old GameCube game, but it looks from everything that I saw him catching the star, because it didn't give us much, he sort of would just announce that it was coming this year, but yeah, it looks really cool, so it looks like something to look out for in the future. And then the final thing to end off with was the game that was not 3D Mario, but got me quite excited. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yeah, Bonanza. I said the name right that time, guys. Looks like one to look out for. Like, this game looks awesome. 3D Donkey Kong. It just looks like they've done everything right. I love the new Donkey Kong design. Some people are saying they don't, but he's just so much more expressive. So fun to watch. This trailer looks awesome, and I can't wait to get playing this game in like 3 months' time, I think, something like that. So yeah, that's Donkey Kong Bonanza for you. Some things that I want to add before I bring this video to a close. The Pro Controller, I think it's about £70, which isn't terrible, but it does just look like the exact same, just with a C-button and a headphone jack. So they could have maybe innovated a bit more, but honestly, I don't mind. It's a comfy controller. I'll take that for a Nintendo console. Somehow, when I was talking about hardware, I managed to miss this out. Don't know how, but here it is now. The mouse feature is probably what I'm most excited about for the hardware of the Switch 2. I mean, sure, the new camera and chat thing looks cool, but it just looks like they've done everything right. The way it's combined with the gyroscope looks so cool, and like, it doesn't look like a gimmick like motion control sometimes can be. It looks like a feature, and I think that's really cool. My only concern, though, I know I said it was like my favourite part, but I play on my gaming chair, or like, you know, my chair, and some people play on like their sofas or their beds. So where would you use this? Like, but you know, still looks really cool, and I'm sure we'll be able to figure it out. Finally, highly anticipated GameCube games are being brought to Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack for no extra cost. Now, this is a really good thing because many people can't have access to GameCube games as they've sold their GameCube in the past and stuff. I am lucky enough to have a GameCube, but the games are really expensive, so I only have 4 GameCube games. So it's going to be really nice to have them easily accessible. Although there is a slight problem. I actually have more than will be originally available on this collection, as only 3 are going to be available. This seems quite odd because they talked about adding lots more. So I'm a bit confused why they don't just kickstart the Switch 2 launch with all these extra GameCube games. And bearing in mind my biggest complaint is probably they're a bit light on software. It does just seem like a bit of a missed opportunity to tack onto the updated library of Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack older games that are available. I decided to take a day and reflect on this direct and then come back and record this final overarching segment. And now that I look back on it, if that direct had been any normal direct, then I think we would have had a very, very happy time. Those are some great games and that would be a great direct. But the thing is, everyone's talking about is that was not any normal direct. That was a Switch 2 direct. One of the Nintendo's biggest directs ever. But then I was actually thinking, what if that argument could be used on the other end? Because that was a Switch 2 direct, where we learnt a lot about the Switch 2 itself. So all of these other games, surely they could be viewed as just bonuses. So in that case, all of a sudden you got a new 3D Donkey Kong, a new Mario Kart game, which looks absolutely incredible, both of them do, a new Hyrule Warriors, which isn't even being released soon. Well, okay, it kind of is, but not released past summer. I think it was winter. So all of a sudden you flip this, and this is going from a 6 or a 7 that I might have called it earlier, to a 8 or a 9. And bearing in mind Nintendo Treehouse is going on these 2 days when I'm filming this, I'm just getting more and more excited again about the Switch 2. So overall, I think this direct was a good 7 or an 8. Really excited for the Switch 2 era, so look forward to new videos coming up. For now, your local Nintendo kid, out.